Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV This Morning program, and I am Jul Denjai with my co-host, Mr. Malika. And we have come to the last segment of this program, and we have, Ebrima Sawaneh, who is the ACCA CFO of the year 2025. A lot of acronyms there. But congratulations, Mr. Sawaneh.
Thank you.
You're certainly breaking barriers, not just for in the Gambia, but across Africa, and we are proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So talk to us about your journey, because prior to this, not a lot of people know who Mr. Ebrima Sawaneh is. Talk to us about your journey, how it started really, because like they always say, Ms. Saka, foundation is everything. Once the foundation is weak, everything tends to collapse. But with this achievement, we are hopeful that the foundation was really strong for you.
And do you come from a background of educated people or illiterate? What type of background did you start your journey? And which village, what part of the Gambia are you from?
Thank you very much. My name is Ebrima Sawaneh, originally from a small village called Saruja, that's in CRR. If you don't know Saruja, you can just check us through Brikama. So it's our reference point on the map of the Gambia. And I did my primary school in Brikama, and also my junior secondary school in Brikama. Then in 2000, I proceeded to Nusrat Senior Secondary School in Bundun. Like you rightly asked, both of my parents are subsistence farmers. None of them have been to our conventional schools. They did Arabic for the sake of Islamic studies. So my father is late, but he was a security officer. My mom is a farmer. So pretty much I came from what you describe as a humble background. And considering what I saw then in the family, I wrote a book about it. I call it Purposeful Education. I had a desire to change the life of my family, my children, and other Gambians. So I pursued a program first at the UTG, University of the Gambia, and due to lack of funding, I dropped out of university. Then took a part after I got an opportunity to work in Guarantee Trust Bank as a cashier. I enrolled myself into a program called CAT, which is a Certified Accounting Technician. It's equivalent of AAT in those days. So after CAT, I pursued ACCA. The interesting thing has also been, because of the work-life balance and the lack of funding, I studied all my ACCA through self-study. So I couldn't afford to go into classes either in MDI or other places. And luckily, with determination, focus, and thank God, I was able to pass all my ACCA exams on the first attempt, whilst I was in Guarantee Trust Bank, then moved to EcoBank. In 2011, I had opportunity to get a job in Nigeria with an institution called Africa Finance Corporation. Okay. It's a multilateral institution that invests into road, energy, and other infrastructure. Today it's over $14 billion size of a company. So I moved to Nigeria, where I work with ACCA, where I work with AFC. I think I love ACCA a lot, so I keep on calling ACCA. So I work with AFC there for about 9 years. In 2020, they sent me on secondment to one of their investing companies called Arise Port and Logistics that invests into seaports. So today I serve as the group CFO, which you call your group finance director, and the group chief operating officer for 3 seaports, 2 ports in Gabon and 1 port in Cote d'Ivoire, where we are doing over 10 million tons of export of minerals to China and other countries. Thank you.
Wow, that's very
massive.
Impressive accolades. Yeah. We see you today with 2 certificates, and we want to know what are these certificates, and are you still intending to come back to the Gambia and work here, because we think we have a lot of people of your caliber should definitely be here and impacting. And I'm sure the authorities are seeing you and knowing what you are capable of with the capacity and that you are delivering. I'm sure you will be needed in Gambia. So put us through what this winner of ACCA of the year, is that throughout Africa, or where is it limited? What is the different certificates that you have there?
So ACCA is one of the leading bodies that trains accountants all over the world, not only in Africa. They are based in London, and they've been around for more than 120 years. of their existing training accountants. I think maybe 90% of chartered accountants in the Gambia are actually ACCA holders, most of them. So by virtue of we are related to the British, we speak English. Now, they have a platform where every 2 years, their members meet within Africa. And when they meet, they looked at people, particularly the finance professionals who have made impact within the continent in terms of not only within your company, but also within the bigger society. Are you a good accountant, a good CFO, a finance director? Do you help the society beyond your company? So they will pick and give people different awards. So this year, on the 5th of December, I was awarded there. And first of all, it was through Gambians, other Gambians who felt I could do or I could achieve that award, thanks to Mr. Salif Ba, Musa Sua, and Njilan Senwar, who is the MD of Trust Bank. So Salif is with Gambia Petroleum Commission and Musa is with EcoBank in Togo. These are colleagues in the accounting profession. Based on what they know about me, they felt I should be able to compete for this award. So when they put my name, which is for the Corporate CFO Award, ACCA looked at the applications for over 50,000 accountants within the continent, and they gave me the Corporate CFO Award. But not only that, they also say we think among all the CFOs of our members within the continent, you are also the best CFO for the year in terms of Africa.
Can you show
so
the certificate?
This is this is the one for the CFO of the Year Award, which was 3 members were shortlisted, one from Ghana, one from South Africa, and they picked myself as the CFO of the year, which is
CFO meaning Chief Financial Officer.
Okay. Yes, so in the whole of the continent, Africa, that goes to, it was a proud moment for Gambia, and that's why I thought we should use this as a mechanism to inspire young people, as you rightly asked. I am made in Gambia. I did all my studies here. I didn't have to travel to pursue this program. And at the end of the day, my Gambian education exposure gives me opportunity to have international job. So that's why I always thought that it's important to let the young Gambians know that where we start, it does not necessarily mean that's where we are going to end. With the determination and the focus, we are able to achieve.
Absolutely.
And the other part of your question about coming to Gambia, I've been involved in so many activities in the Gambia. Even for the past 14 years, I've been outside. We do have an organization here where we do get involved in training and capacity building. We do also get involved in the investment. So maybe some of you may not know, but we have some partnership with the Q Group, where we set up an insurance company. I sit on the board as well with the chairman, Mr. Jai himself. So we are the promoters that set up that idea, brought it to Mr. Jai, and he had the belief and support the platform. Today is going on. These are some of the ways I try to come back and support. But of course, at some point in time, I have to come back. I had a target that before the age of 50, I have to retire and come back to Gambia to contribute more to development, not only coming in and out. Thank you.
You mentioned that you started in Saruja village and then you were a university dropout. When you were receiving these 2 awards, what really came to your mind?
Yeah, so I think when I was receiving the award, I did spoke about the message of our starting. Now, all of us may be having a challenge that we are sort of fighting or pushing against it. It may be somebody wants that financial freedom. It may be somebody wants a happy relationship. Maybe you are in a marriage or even within a family. It may be some people are dealing with loneliness. The most important thing for me is to be that purposeful, to be that intentional, what you want to change in your life. And I have been what I would describe as a very hardworking and a focused person. And maybe that's why you said most people don't know me. If you go to social media, you will see my message has always been very consistent. It's about being purposeful in life. When you want to achieve something, set a clear goals and be ready to invest in that. That could be investment of your time, investment on the kind of relationship you build, investment on the kind of people that even you follow on the social media. So for me, since I've been very young, I have built a very good relationship. So you take an example, how did I get into banking? When I finished my high school at Nusrat, I was actually that year I was the third most outstanding student in the school. The year I graduated from Nusrat, the high school teacher told me, until last Mr. John Kemokai, he said, until you find something, maybe why not you come and teach at the school? So just from high school, I was taken back into the school. I started teaching accounting to grade 12 students. And whilst I was there, a young man called Omar Jase found me teaching and said, oh, you look very young to be teaching. Have you done HTC or university degree? I said, no. I'm just here while something comes up to engage myself. So sometimes that's starting. You have to start somewhere very low. It may look low, but you don't know what opportunity it will bring for you. Now, through that program or that teaching, Omar now exposed me to Guarantee Trust Bank cashier recruitment. So I went there, sat an exams, and then got into GTB as a cashier. So why I'm saying this, there are people who support you in the system. But those people have to see you on certain right tracks. You do not expect somebody to see you on the road and say, I want to support the youth. They have to see you have certain kind of focus or mindset for them to also invest their time and relationship in you. Because if Omar didn't see me in that part, he probably would not pick me on the road and say, just come and go and apply for a job as a cashier. And I cannot name everybody in the country that have contributed in one way or the other. But I knew my focus and my part had helped me a lot. And I remember sharing a quote to the audience there, is that life does not give you what you think you deserve. Life gives you what you have decided. So don't think I deserve to be getting that job promotion. Don't think I deserve to be out of poverty. Don't think I deserve to be not to go to bed without being in a hungry mood. I have been to exams while I was hungry. But I felt like it's not something I deserved. It's something I have to decide that I want to change it. And with that, I put my energy, my focus on everything that can change that part. And I think this is a very important mindset, whether we are young or old, that if we want to change our paths in the life, we have to have a very focused mindset. Yesterday, I was lucky to visit Fatu, the CFO of Ajib Bank. So we are in our office. I saw a quote which says that the best way to predict the future is to create it. It's one of my favorite quotes. When I saw it, I say, oh, that's Peter Drucker. He said, yes. See, this is so powerful. The best way to create the future, to predict the future, is to create it. So it's whatever you do today, that will determine what you are going to have tomorrow. So as we are living here today, we are all creating something tomorrow. It's the food you eat today that determines possibly your health tomorrow. It's the knowledge you take today that determines what kind of mindset you are going to build for yourself in the next 4 to 5 years. If you watch certain kind of videos, you start thinking, what do you see in those videos? But if you watch more inspirational, more knowledge impacting videos, you start thinking more knowledge impacting. So that's what has paid for me, and I was very grateful it happens whilst I was in the Gambia.
So your destiny is in your hands, so to speak.
Yes.
So you can determine your route by carving and being directly conscious with a vision as to where you are heading to. Without a vision, your mission would be muddled. So it's always good, therefore, to endeavor to know what you want and you go for it. You don't have to wait. That is the attitude that I have seen you exhibited, and that's quite right, you know. I mean, and that should be applicable to all the youngsters who are watching, that sometimes the situation is not ideal. You may not even have electricity where you started your education.
Yes.
And somebody else is having abundance of electricity and did not make good use of it. So it's determination and what you want to make good use of that will pay dividend at the end of the day. Sometimes the dividend is deferred, as in your lingo.
Yes.
Deferred dividends. Yes. So you have to make sure that you cultivate, as you say, in order to reap the fruit at the end of the day.
So, Mr. Sawaneh, these awards recognize financial, excellence. But again, in your acceptance speech, you did mention the issue of access to education. Why was that message really important at that time?
So I imagine I spoke about the ACCA, how they impacted my life.
Right.
Now, I imagine if there was no platform for me to study ACCA, but if you take it back home, imagine if there was no primary school in Birkamaba, what would have happened? Because many young people from the village, we either continue to be farmers, and some don't even go to school. I didn't go to nursery school because that time we don't have nursery school. And it does reflect on you at one way or the other. When I was in school, my best subject was mathematics. So I liked something logically. But my worst subject was English. In fact, the year I graduated in the Gambia here, it was only English that prevented me from having national award. I had like a 5A and a C in English. But the problem was the foundation. We didn't have nursery school for me to learn certain things, so I have to be catching up as we are going. So if the school is not there, maybe I would not be sitting here today.
That's what we were talking about in terms of decentralizing of services,
Exactly.
accessibility, because there is a lot of potential trap.
Yes.
You know, there are lots of other people in these villages that are intelligent, probably far more intelligent than we are, but they are not exposed to some of those facilities. So, but it's important to have universal and compulsory education for that matter, especially up to a certain level. Because education is what transforms lives.
Yes.
It makes a difference because it opens up the window to life. Once you are educated, you begin to see the life in a different way. You become more aware, more critical, and more objective in many ways. That is not to say that, you know, you cannot be a dishonest, educated person. So it must come along formatted with certain values that would give you integrity. Because education without integrity, education without honesty, education, then it's meaningless because you use your education to purport certain things that are not helping or advancing society. So we must inculcate certain values that are embedded when we are being brought up, you know, in our homes. And then we added to it what Allah has given us in terms of minds, because everybody have a potential or capacity to do something. You might not be good in English. She would be good in English. So you might not be good in something else. So we are all gifted in different ways. But the convergence is education and the formative years to really realize those things.
So this was why when I wrote a short memoir. Normally people don't want to write a memoir until they're very old, at a certain age. But I asked myself, you know what, at the age of 40, you don't have to wait for another 60, 70 years for you to write a memoir. If I don't write a biography, let me write a memoir. And the memoir was titled Purposeful Education, My Bet Against Poverty. So I said the only way to bet against poverty is to be educated. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and get a PhD. If you are an educated carpenter, you are most likely going to be better to use modern tools than somebody who has not gone to school. If you are an educated mechanic, if you are an educated, if you put it as a tailor, you are most likely going to be using social media to do your business, attract certain kind of fashion trending. So education is very key. It doesn't matter what level you are. But the best way for you to bet against poverty for me is education.
Absolutely.
So what does this award mean for Africa, not just Gambia, and how can our leaders leverage on, you know, people like you or the financial, because we know that Africa, we are rich when it comes to resources, when it comes to even intellectuals, we are rich, but again, when it comes to financial mismanagement, we are always also victim of that. What does this mean, and how can we get it right in our continent?
So I think our problem is very complicated and complex. We talk about the issue of education. Still, there isn't enough education, I felt, in Africa that we need to do. There are a lot of people still who are not going to school. There are a lot of people there who are not going to school. So I think, for me, you can take it one as an example for Africa to say that when you educate people, it does not matter where they are coming from. It could be somebody as small as a village in the Gambia, as Saruja. Today, because you educate them, they are on the continental platform. That's, for me, is one example. So it means we have to invest in every corner of Africa to educate our young minds. Because we don't know where the next scientist is going to come from. We don't know who is going to be our own, maybe Elon Musk. We don't know. It could be somewhere sitting in a remote village. We just need to put the right education, the right tools in their hand. Now, for what are we doing, one may ask, for the case of this award in the Gambia. First of all, I appreciate the accounting community in the Gambia. A lot of them reach out to me, especially those who are at the very senior level. A lot of bank CEOs, even Mr. Jha reached out to me personally saying thank you. I mean, congratulations for this, and thank you for putting us in the map of at the continental level. So we are doing awareness programs. For instance, we set up a platform called Future CFO Institute. It's an online platform where we do train people, young people, on practical finance and accounting knowledge and their careers. And interestingly, before even this award, there have been a conversation we've been doing, myself and my friends, Mr. Sua and Salif Ba, to organize a similar conference in the Gambia in 2026. And now with this award, they are saying we must.
Yes.
So we must organize something. We are looking at maybe May 2026 organize a conference, which will be Gambia CFO Award and Conference, where we can also say how do we celebrate our people? Because it's another fundamental thing we have to do a lot in Gambia.
Right.
I've been in Nigeria for about 9 years. I've spent 2 years in Gabon. Now I'm based in Dubai. One thing I've seen help a lot, we have to recognize our people. I didn't know you personally, but when we were asking, okay, who will be the host, they said, oh, Mr. Carr. So somebody gave us a very good profile. I said, oh, it would be lovely to have a chat with Mr. Carr.
Okay.
So I think it's important we recognize our people. That's why we say next year, let's also start an award program where we look at the finance leaders in the country, we recognize them.
Okay. In reflection of your journey, I'm sure you would be your parents. One of them you said is lady, your father, your mother.
Yes.
What role did they play in terms of shaping you to prepare you, even though they were not literate? But then one of them must have this feeling that I have to put my son to school because I've come to see. And your mom, the role, these things, and the pride of the community. And how do you feel in terms of sentiments and emotion towards that?
Under 1 minute, please.
So when I was accepting the award, it was a bit emotional because this year I lost my dad. I also lost my grandmother. It was my grandmother who sent me to school.
Wow.
You know, in Africa, it's very common where at some age the mom will send you to their mother. So my grandmother sent me to school and hand over back to my parents. They all played a very key role. So I remember in those days, whether I was with my grandmother or my mom, they wake up early in the morning. Like you said, there's no electricity because it's very cold. They had to warm some water for me to take bath and go to school. They had to do those things for me. My mom, those days, you may remember the initiation programs that they do in the up countries, where he had to go and work in somebody else's farm for them to pay her in order to get me those clothes or in order to get those shoes for me. So I just thank God they were alive. At least I had the opportunity to give them something back. Even before my dad passed on, at least he was able to go for Hajj. But I'm very biased in the sense to my mom. I think moms are playing very important roles where we can't never thank them. You know, up till today, I'm still looking like a small boy to my mom anytime I go there.
You never actually get old for us. Thank you very much, Ebrima, for coming, and congratulations. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And we are also looking forward to the 2026 conference here in the Gambia.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Carr, this is all we have time for.
Thank you very much, and expect me in Dubai anytime.
Thank you. Viewers, this is all we have time for. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning. It's a bye from us, and enjoy the rest of our programs.